Okay. It's gonna be the short one, I think, and see where it goes from. Probably like 10-20 minutes. Maybe I'll talk about this and move on from it, I guess, until future changes. Okay. I'll try to, how should I say it? Clip it and post on YouTube later. I added a little bit, but that's about it, I think. Saw the notification during school. That's some dedication, I gotta say. That is a massive dedication. And some positive notes. I'm going to watch Elden Ring gameplay review within 25 minutes. This would be massive. Could be massive flop as well. I don't know. But after we talk about this, we'll go and do other stuff for a bit, and then probably gonna go back to sleep. Then get ready to work. So, not because of Elden Ring, but I don't want to talk too much about this. I mean, I don't want to talk too long about this one. So we'll go through what they have to say as from developers, which I already read it through. So, I can try to translate this in English page, but you can do that yourself. Within my video, I post a link. So if you want to know more about the exact section I'm talking about, then you can go and do that, but I'll keep that as a original posting. I'm not here to listen to your opinion for this video. I'm just gonna tell you my opinions on it, and when I post a video, you can comment on how you feel like it. So just for this video is like the section that I'm recording right now. It's just my own opinions and what I think about it, and at the end I'll just, I guess I'll give a summarized version of how I feel about the current thing and what they should be doing. There's certain things I understand they're doing and I don't mind, but at the same time I feel like this is probably not right, and yeah. But enough about stalling. Let's talk about this. Okay, so with this one, they posted, I guess, some update again about the Rearm system. There's a lot of problem with it, and then people weren't happy, which is normal. And they gave some response after a couple days later, which I think a little bit too late at this point. And they also kind of responded to other issues other than Rearm. I'll go through this and talk about everything they have said within this video, and at the end I'll give my own opinions on it. And at the end of the video, I guess you can also let me know how you feel about these changes to your see through. So the first part is the CEO of the company, and I guess a bit of apology and stuff. And honestly, I'm not going to go through this because pretty sure no one really wants to know about what they have to say in this section. And me personally care a bit about what they said, but at the same time, it's not the part of the problem, or it's not gonna solve any of the problems that exist. Skip that. So the first thing they start talking about adjusting the rearm systems, like overall adjustments, and which is they're saying they should know, and they probably know before we even ask for anyways. They realize it's not just something that can cut off the cost to rearm the units. That's not a simple fix for the system, and there's many other systems that's a problem with it. And they're saying we open for more ways and possibilities, but just a bunch of talks, and just move on and what they are actually doing about it. So number A, they are going to get rid of the rearm data patches, the fragments. So right now, currently, there's 3 different types. So one is for defender and striker units, one is for range units, so like ranger and snipers, and other rearm data patches are like special classes like supporter, siege unit, as well as a tower unit. So it's divided into 3 things, and you have to dismantle certain classes to get the specific rearm data parts. So basically there's 3 different materials, and there's the SR version of them and SSR version of them. So there's total of the 6 different materials, and that is pretty crazy. For example, if I wanted to make a tower showering, then I have to find SSR units that's also tower units, supporter, or the siege units, and dismantle them to get those unit datas. Not unit data, it's like rearm data. So that is a lot of like different units that you have to go and look for, or you have to specifically go and find out, or go and buy it, pull the gacha, so you can get that types of rearm data to make a specific units to rearm mode, whatever you want to call it. So long story short, they are changing that. So they are combining all of them into one. So I'm assuming they're still going to have an SR and SSR versions, but they are going to combine them all into one class only. So it doesn't matter if I dismantle a sniper class, striker class, or supporter class, they will all going to be giving one universal type rearm unit data. This is very positive change. It really is. So for example, like I said, if you wanted to make a tower shower, you literally have to go and look for that specific unit, and you have to dismantle 14 of them from the gachas to get the 280 fragments, so you can get it. But they combined that into all, which is one positive thing, and I think that is a good change. Now the second one is, instead of 280 data, they changed to 80, like the rearm fragments. So that is reducing, 200 fragments compared to what they had before. And that is about the 4 SSR unit that you get from the gacha. So let's say if I go for shouting banner right now to pull out shouting, if I get 4 of them, that is more than enough to rearm either sniper class version of her or the tower version of her. But they haven't updated this yet, but when they update this, that's how it's going to be. So that is a lot less, but the main problem with this is it still costs 80, and I'm talking not from my perspective. Me, this is not a problem. If I was a little bit ignorant and if I didn't care too much, like 80 is nothing for me. Getting extra 4 SSR units is definitely nothing to me. I can go and do it if I wanted to. But the problem is there is different branches for the units. That's when the problem starts. So even let's say if I have a shouting, and if I made a sniper shouting, great, but there's a tower shouting, that means I need to get additional 1 shouting. I need to invest into them again to level 110, then I have to get additional 80 fragments, then I have to make that into tower shouting. So these branches are the problems. It is still a cool idea to have different branches, so the one path is making your character more unique to what they were used to be, so stronger in that way, and other path is making into completely different character with different ability. It's a cool idea on the paper, in the theory, but when the execution comes and amount of cost it goes in and investment it needs, and the return is pretty low. And if they want this to be like a good monetization system, they have to come to the point where it's reasonable to do it, and return should be at least there. I think currently return doesn't exist, and I'm not saying they should buff the rearm units. That's not I want, honestly. I don't think that's the case here. It just, the cost seems to be really not there. Like I said, I can do it if I wanted to, but I'm pretty sure pretty much 99, not 99%, maybe 95% people out there is gonna be like, I don't know if I want to do this. So people like me is very few, and I know that. That's why I'm not trying to say I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this to a certain sense since they've reduced it. But even if they came out in this stage right now, only needing 80 fragments and combined into all datas, this still will be pretty controversy to a lot of players. So yeah, they say that's changed into 80, and like I said, if there's no branches, it will be pretty good changes, but it's not. The branch still exists. So this is only fixing half of the problem, honestly. And 4 SSR units seems to be quite a lot, so either they need to change this into 2. I think they should, honestly. I don't know what they can do, but honestly 4 is not right, not for 2 branch units. For example, the next, supposedly they were already offered Pendragon as well as Estarossa rearmament as well, and that means when they comes out together, that's going to be 4 different branches of path. That means you need, 80 times 4. And how many fragment is that? Yeah, that's 30. Yeah, that's that's 320 fragments. So you need to dismantle about 16 SSR units. Now it's not going to come out every single month, I don't think so. But the branch is making it really difficult for you to invest into units. And another problem with this is also going to make that you kind of feel like punished whenever you get a duplication units and you dismantle it too fast or something, or you didn't keep it around. So it's just hoarding your storage units. So at this point, they need to kind of realize, because I don't really like holding SSR units because I don't know what's going to happen in the future. It happens in other games as well, That's why they always say in many other gacha games, like, never dismantle SSR units. So always keep it around because you never know what's going to be useful. And that always ends up being kind of true throughout many games. So I'm not saying, I don't even know what I'm saying about that, but the point I'm saying is, like, if you need 16 SSR units, and you kind of have to hold it around for a bit for that long, it's gonna be annoying. It's gonna be annoying. I don't want that. I just rather them to not have this rearm at all, but I guess they really have to add it. But the first A change is pretty good. It's the B change that's I don't really like it that much. Honestly, they should make into 2 units, or if they really have to do 4. Like, even if they did 2 units and make the branch path into a single line, even then the people will have a complaint, and I think that's fair complaint. Me, like I said, I can do right now. I can deal with 4 SSR unit per branch, but ideally, I think 1 is maybe asking for too much, and then I know it's not going to happen. That's why I'm not even bother asking. If they're really going to ask for 4 additional extra SSR units to rearm the SSR units, then they should be giving you an option for you to, not have to create another branch. So just have 1 character, and it'll just make it so you can pick either. So just have 1 character and just switch between 2 different branches. So if I make a rearm shouting, I should be able to choose tower units version or the sniper versions on and off. That should be the way to do if it is expensive investment. I think it is kind of absurd they're asking for you to go all duplications and create another unit so you can have different branch units. I think that is a little bit too much. Yeah, that's the main problem as well. Like, I don't like keeping duplication around, like raising another character. I try not to do it that much, and this is basically forcing you to have 2 different units at the same time. It should be on and off feature and it's able to switch through. It really should. But that's the changes from 14 SSR units to 4 units now. And this part 3 is talking about how much skill material you need. So previously needed 483 unit fragment data, and that's like about 8,000 test planet points that if you were to buy all those fragments just from the shop with the test planet point. Now it reduced to 120, and 120 is how much you need to get to craft the 1 SSR units. That's how much fragments you need. And this sounds crazy, I know, but I'm okay with it. That's like, what, 2,000 task planet points. If they made the first part, like the rearming units, really easy and combined into 1 branch only, I can agree with this one. 120 fragments for SSR units, because that's 2,000 task planet points. And that's if they're going for whales, like if they're asking whales, hey whales, go and spend the money for us in this new system, I can go and throw down 2,000 task planet points to level up rearm units skills to level 10, if that's what they're asking me. But the problem here is, like I said, that's their 2 branches. 2 branches idea, like I'm keep going back, is pretty cool idea, but at the same time, investment is just so big and it's just not worth it. So if I didn't have to, so in theory, if I made a 2 Shaolin, like the sniper one and the tower one, I have to spend total 4,000, task planet points to turn that into the unit data fragments to level up their skill, which you need 120 for each. So that's like 240 fragment I need. And if they made into all just 1 unit, it will solve all the problem. Maybe they have problem as a coding, maybe it's just impossible, but honestly it should be done at once, and then you should be switch back and forth and just choose which units you want. If they made into that, then I think I'll be okay. But currently they're asking for the double amount, and like I said, this is not just shouting, there will be more units coming out in the future. I know the event exists for the shouting right now, which gives a alright amount of fragments, that's why they're like this. But at the same time, like I said, in the future there's gonna be Estarossa, there's gonna be Pendragon, and there's probably more SSR rearm units with different branches. So if you consider about what's going to happen in the future, unless they are really going to give away rewards for every single new SSR rearm units, it's going to be a huge investment. And like I always said, giving away event is not a solution. It's a band-aid basically. It gives reason for players to play the game and participate within the event, and it is not a bad thing. But with some major system like this, if you're locking rewards behind events, whoever was not able to participate with an event is going to come back and look at it, and it's going to be feel like a huge giant wall in front of them, and it's going to be really tough for them to go through that. So they should focus on, like, if they're giving away the reward anyway for free to the players, just don't do it. Just make the actual system cost a lot less. Like, I don't need event to coverage that. I don't want that. Just make the actual system cover less. But at the same time, I'm keep going back to it, but at the same time, I understand the event has to exist to be really good rewards for people to participate and actually log in and play. That's the whole point of the event, it really is. So it's a hard thing, but what can you do though, right? What can you do? But see, they're reducing less, but I still think that's not enough. Because if you're considering all these different branches for SSR units, yeah, it's just gonna multiply easily, and it's gonna come to the point it's impossible for a lot of players to even bother leveling up their skills. So they're gonna reduce the credit like they said, and that's still a lot of credits for a lot of people, but I'm just gonna pass this. Credit, I can live with it, I guess. I don't know. And for SSR units, skill level material, I mean the like the skill books and stuff, it'll be 50% less. So these are more minor changes they talked about in the past, which is less credits, less info books, and less skill material. So I think this part I'm more okay with, because that's something you can farm within the game. Still a lot of amount, it really is, but it's something you can farm within the game. It's like the rune from the Epic 7 with the class change system. Like if you want to max out the skills and stuff, you have to grind those runes, which is, you know, kind of painful. It really is. I mean, if you pay for that double amount, the rune buff and stuff, then it makes it easier. And if you stack that up with an actual, like the double time reward event, it will make it easy. But this, I can live with it. It's not a big deal for me. It could be for you, so I'm just talking from my perspective. But this 2-part info book, skill books, and the credit is not a big deal. If it lowers, it's better, but I know this is aimed for kind of whales, the first hands. To me, that's okay. I can live with it. But that is all about the Rearm system, like the investment sections. No dividing classes with the Rearm fragments, and instead of 280 to rearm the units, you need 80, so that's 4 SSR unit instead of 14 like the past. But yeah, they will say on Friday about the overall finalized like the version on the charts to show to the players. So tomorrow, I guess. Tomorrow they will show it. Anyways, and now this part is for the rearm units as well, but this part they're talking about the quality section-ish. So they are said they're going to improve the quality, and depending on the concepts or depending on the character, certain design change will happen, or the animation upgrade. Because for example, people say towering arch is good. Say towering, I guess. Tower shouting arch is pretty good. But sniper one is just kind of cheap. There's some lightning going off on the backupper, some drones flying around. It's compared to tower units, it lacks that impact. So that's why I guess when they say animation upgrade, I'm assuming that's for the shouting. Because sniper rearm shouting version art is definitely a lot less impactful compared to tower ones. And for example, Yumina, since she's the main character of the game, they are going to change her illustrations by December 14th, and they are also going to improve in game and overall mechanics of her skill kits, I guess, to make her fit more into the main character level. Because right now, I mean, it's better than before, but that's about it. That's it's better than before. That's about it. There's honestly no real meaningful, huge, impactful changes to it. It's nice new art, but in game it's just drones flying around, and compared to her older version before Rearm, it barely changes. So I guess since it's the main character, they're going to look into some special cases to improve it better than before, but it's not going to change too much either, I think, for other units. But this is the main part of a lot of people as well when it comes to Korean players. Is like, okay, some people, like even whales, are saying, mega whales saying, okay, I can invest into this, whatever, but what about the quality? They want the, Counter-Strike always came with the quality, like its skin quality is pretty consistent, as well as Awakening units quality is pretty consistent. It's just that this was kind of first time they're like, players kind of ask themselves, what kind of quality is kind of that, So I like to say the quality of the Rearm units are less dramatic changes than the Quartz skins. They should at least wear some new clothes and stuff. But yeah. But that's the part of the quality section that will change art or design in game time to time. And current Yumina's rearmaments, like a skin, will be given away later as just like a skin. And until rework of the Yumina's rearm system, they are not going to be bothering with any future further rearm update. Meaning that there will be no new rearm units until later. So not probably until January, but whatever. I don't think they were able to launch this within December anyways. So who knows, probably even come even later than January next year or even February, who knows. And the last section of the Rearm is they are talking about the original intentions. Is the Rearm unit was supposed to be buffing up the units or changing the old units that's been out of meta for a long time, and you know, make them better. But right now the list seems to be kind of on and off. So they are trying to take the feedbacks from the player base, like a list and ideas and whatever, and they're trying to do it. Oh. I guess it's just additional thing. I don't think this is really meaningful comments. And the SRR units Rearms development will be continued to go on, and yeah, but this part is probably not that important for you anyways. But that's the part. Post this on YouTube, so if you want to see it later when I talked about this, I can. And I know you guys typing chats, but I can't really read a chat. I have to focus on this, so sorry if I'm not reading a chat asking questions. But yeah. Now the second part is talking about the Milia, the collaboration units, and overall balance of that units. So the first day starts with since the collaboration units is not something that can rerun the banner easily, and it's been on top of the meta character for a while since the release, and people who doesn't have it, who started playing after collaboration and stuff, people had a problem with it. So they said after long discussion and such, this is overpowered units, P units. They are going to do some nerf, and they are going to do the recall of the units. So what the nerf is they going to do is definitely like the percentage of the damage. So it's going to do less damage, I guess. They say they can't really change the concept of the character, so like the backstep and stuff like that, like invincibility, can't really do. But I'm assuming they'll probably give it less invincibility and overall damage will be a lot lower. But I think that's when they say this part about the percentage, I think it's mainly the damage that is going to get nerfed. And how the recall works is whoever invests into Milia, they will all get the money they spent on back, and whoever who bought with the selection package, which was like $50, they will refund that within admin coins. I'm not sure if they're taking the Milia away, and I don't think they will probably. I think they're just gonna keep it, but yeah, they're going to give you all the money back of what you pulled out. So that's one right thing they're doing. And me always doesn't really like the nerf in the gacha games, but if the player base really complained that much, which they did, and it is a collaboration unit, that's the main thing, If it was OP units, that's a standard banner character, they were like, oh, I guess I'll just wait for the banner character to come out and just pull it out and use it as well. But this one is collaboration units. It was first limited banner units, and I always knew the limited banner units was always going to be a problem when it's first introduced. And I guess they finally pulled the plug and nerfed it. Gonna nerf it, and we don't know how much it's gonna nerf it. And even after the nerf, I'm pretty sure it's going to be really good 3-cost ranger units either way. It's nowhere near going to be good as what is this right now, definitely, depending on how much they nerf the damage. But regardless, it'll be still good units. But they are doing all the refunds, and they are going to announce within how they're going to do it in November 23rd. But that's another big complaint they had. And they said it's about the special case with collaborations, and they don't plan to, nerf any units in the future on. That's their policy right now, and this is different because limited banner collaboration units, and I guess they came to the point that not nerfing these units will hurt a lot of future units as well because this limited banner character. I guess good thing they're doing this within Korean server. As a mean, like, good thing they didn't release this in other server and nerfing it, because I guess there'll be more outrage like in Japan and stuff. But that's about that. That's Amelia. Now this is about the operator's AoE damage resistance. So basically, short term with this, they had a bug where the AoE res was being more strong than what it was. Like, it was able to actually, take less damage from non-AoE attacks. And basically they nerfed it by fixing the bug, and it pissed off a lot of people. And the solution they're giving right now is basically making it before they fix the bug. So it's going to be the most OP essential passive skills for your operator after this change happens in the November 23rd update. Honestly, they should have just done this a long time ago. Like, they should have never fixed the bug. That's my answer for it. That was my solution. Because like I said, a lot of people spend the money, and bug fix is probably gonna it was never a good choice. It's just a prime example of why it's never good to nerf anything within gacha games, because people pay money for it. So basically they're rolling back on it, and people say it's gonna be better than the bug fix because it's like ultimate damage resistance and stuff. But they do say if this changes are incredibly, like, I guess, unfair and stuff like that, that will change things around. I think what they're gonna end up doing eventually is the all damage resistance is going to be the most OP, passive skills for operators to have for a long time, until they make the other damage resistance or other stats from the passive skills and to be buffed and be more useful. Alright, now if you have an all resistance damage, all damage resistance, like AoE damage resistance operator, keep it around. It's going to be the OP units for a very long time. Like I said, it's really unnecessary they fixed the bug. They should have said, oh fuck, we have the bug for a while. It's actually stronger than it is. But I know you guys spent all the money, so I guess we'll just keep it like that. And we'll just change tooltips of the operators. So just to detail what exactly it does. That's, like, bugs could happen. It's just the fixing it like that was a bad choice, in my opinion. But anyways, that's that. And for the gauntlet and PvP balance wise, well, it's usually Milia and Evolve 1 and stuff. Like mechanic decks being too OP and stuff. But they are going to be adding new band system, basically. It's called a casting band system. So it's something that you can actually ban the units, and it's going to be separate banned. So the current existing ban list will go on. So if the units are used too much, they'll get banned. Go 1, 2, 3. Now this ban system is the users are picking their own bans. So let's say if people hate Evolve 1, I guess that week. Well, I don't know how this system is going to be implemented. They just said it's the user picking. So user is able to pick the ban. So assuming if the oldest people ban Evolve 1, I guess Evolve 1 is going to get banned 4 or 5 or something, to the point where it's impossible to use. And if not many people ban Evolve 1, then maybe we'll get banned 1. That's it, I guess. Not sure how good this ban system is. I think it could be abused. Like if the let's say if 1,000 player base are within Discord that say, hey, let's ban this unit for this week. This could be abused like that. It really could. Then there's nothing that can stop them. So we'll see how they're implemented. I think it's basically a new challenge for them. Probably gonna be messy, but we'll see. And they're talking about more once again about the friendly PvP kind of thing, the private match, and they need another 3 weeks or something. So they want to. They said early 2022. Yeah. And this one is about the T7 update, like T7 gears. They say that will show overall system UI and how the system works within this November, and by December 3rd, that will show the exact amount of like materials and things like that within to the players, the form, I guess. So you know in advance what they're going to do. And overall, and they also said continuation of that will also show you what kind of content they're going to be adding for you to farm these new gears and overall balance of it, I guess. It's just a talk at this point. So they lost a lot of trust with this Rearm update. So even though they say a lot of these, not a lot of people gonna believe what they're saying. Now this part I don't want to say it because it's about the reward and stuff. And I think this is going to be split a lot of player base, like probably what happened to Genshin Impact. Not to the Korean community, because trust me, Korean people do not need this. As it mean like they don't want this. They want actual fixes. They don't want more rewards. They want actual fixes than the rewards to cover it up. And I will tell you what the reward is. And I'm scared. I'm not even sure if I'm making the right choice right now. But don't try to like split player base and cause a drama over between player base. Like I seen it happen with like people saying, oh, like we're gonna get all this, like Koreans people gonna test it for us, and we're just gonna sit back, lay chill, and get all the rewards, let the guinea pigs do the work for us. Like stuff like that, dude, that's just wrong. Those all same players. Come on. But anyways, they are going to give away Awakening unit selector, and they can pick every single Awakening units that has came out so far, including Arahan to Shiun. So that's pretty big rewards for anyone who's missing Awakening character for sure. They are giving away 200 the black tickets, so that's 10 pools for Awakening banner. They're giving away this T5 cooldown sets. They gave them away during the first anniversary for event reward. They're giving additional sets, so it's pretty good set for you to use on usually on supporter characters like Avalon or Nelson, other characters. And for last reward, they're giving away task planet point 2000. And they gave away 2000 black tickets and this item set as well as test planet point 2000. They gave it away right away since they posted this post, so it's in the mail. And they're gonna create this all selectable Awakening unit tickets, like they have to code it into the game, and that will give that soon to the player base. And they also said they are going to go over some of the system or like feedback, and they will going to do another post like this in the future. But yeah, the comments were not happy. But that is pretty much about it. The first thing was the Rearm, I guess, system rework, which is still not enough in my opinion. It's enough for me to the point that I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I can do this kind of level now. Like right now, if this came out on the Friday, essentially, I'll be like, okay, I can do this, and I was gonna be able to show you guys without much problem. Still probably too much for a lot of people, like I said, but to me, if this came out this way, on Friday, I would have been okay with it, honestly. But since they burned down the house already and they're slowly reducing the barrier, that's just, you know, I don't know why they went that crazy if they're gonna, you know, go backpedal like this. Like, seriously, it done nothing good. I don't get it. I really don't. I'm pretty sure whoever, you know, set the material, like a resource requirement in the first place, they probably knew, like, you know, isn't this too much kind of feel? Like, I don't, like, if they were going to roll back like this amount anyways, like, why did they do it in the first place like that? I don't get it. I really don't get it. And I still think it's best if they just remove this system right now and just leave it aside for until later uses, but they're going along with it. So hopefully, I guess, event rewards will give away more in the future. Hopefully. Hopefully that's how we solve it. But to the whales right now, I think it's more reasonable market right now. I'm telling you, there are some whales out there who pulled out 14 different tower units from the gacha to make the tower shouting. Like, that's just that's just absurd. It really is. What? I don't know, dudes. I don't know. I know they limit tasks, but that's still pretty big. Zero, they, you know, the term guinea pig came out from the other server community. You know, it's different when you know. I mean, it's being you know, being test server is always true as a first server that you play. Like, Chinese game, usually Chinese server is a test server. If you look at it, all the changes, rough changes, they go through first. Bugs, they go through first. You know, that it is test server, really. It's a paid test server. But when other players discriminates other player base by calling them the test server guinea pigs, that's different. That's just awful. That's just disgusting. Oh, why say that? Seriously. But if I have to give my opinion, they should have came out like this in the first place. And the quality wise, honestly, I'm not happy with the quality either. Tower shouting is probably the least annoying one because it changed a little bit. Like, the drones looks cool, like I said in the stream yesterday. But still, it's just whatever. How should I say? It's better than nothing for me. It really is. It's better than nothing. It's not the worst case scenario for me with this one, but I still think this is not the best scenario I was hoping for. I was hoping they say, oh fuck, we're sorry, we'll just remove it and we'll release it later in the future with more feedback. But Emilia, personally, I'm against this. Against these, I mean, nerfing the units. Now, what's gonna happen is I'm still gonna pull the units anyway, but pretty much gonna make everyone not want to pull the units. So it's giving less value of what you pulled out. Now, this is like a special case again, and many people complained. And I swear to fucking god, I know a couple people who complained about the Emilia being OP. And if I see them, this is a half joke anyway. If I see them complaining about the fact they're nerfing Emilia after they complain so much about not nerfing Emilia, I'm going to murder them. That's a joke, by the way. That's a joke. That's expressions. But seriously, I hope people don't. I hope at least people. I mean, if people called no like nerf from day one, and they still say no nerf right now and disappointed about the nerfing, yes, I get that. But if there are people like, oh, they should nerf Emilia, fuck Emilia, and they actually nerfed it, they're like, oh, why they nerf Emilia? If they're like that, I'm like, dude, make up your mind, seriously. That complaint is something that I would not like to deal with. That's bullshit. That, you know, that is totally bullshit standard. Like, if you ask for it, take it. I didn't ask for it, but I'm willing to take it. Because like I always said, like, limited banner character always brings in problems. Just look at Epic 7 right now. A prime example of the limited banner character just destroying all of the meta. It's not top of the meta, but like, it's affecting meta in a pretty big way. So, and that's a limited banner character. Yeah, limited banner character is always a red flag, I think. That's why I was against it. Especially, I didn't like the Guilty Gear collaboration that much. I said it during the back in the day. So, the character quality is good. Like, it's really well crafted characters. It's just that I didn't want it. I don't think it was needed to the game at all. And it really did not. It just all this fucking snowball happened since the collaboration happened. Like, they never should have done this collaboration, period. And they have saved so many times and resources and backpedaling all this update stuff. Like, they should have. Well, there's that. There's about the million. And error resistance buff as well. Like, honestly, why? Why did you do it? Like I said it from the start, they should just say, oh, there's a bug right now making error resistance the best operator skills right now. So, we are sorry, but I guess that's what's gonna be. So that's gonna be the best. Like, people were already using all damage resistance as the best one anyways. Before, like, it was considered tier 1 options, so everyone's running that anyways. So just say, oh, this is the best one, and there's a bug that makes it better than it is, so I guess we'll just keep it that way because so much people spend the money to get the passive skill. Why the fuck did you nerf it? I don't get it. Did you not see the outrage that was gonna happen eventually? Like, I don't know. Trust me, it is a right thing to do to fix the bug, to make the ability to make it where it's supposed to do. So they made the right choice in terms of balance reason, but they did the wrong choice in terms of the salesman perspective. Just think as you bought a car, or let's say you bought a PC. It came with the RTX 30. What it said it was going to come with the RTX 2060. That's what I'm using, so I'm using that example. But what the PC actually came with is RTX 360, and I'll be like, but it's the box, the graphic card says RTX 2060. So in my entire time, I was thinking this is a performance of RTX 2060, and like half a year later, the place I bought the PC from, they're like, hey, by the way, we sent you wrong PC with the wrong graphic card. So graphic card you've been using so far is actually RTX 3060 instead of 2060. So we'll take that your 3060 card and we'll send you a 2060 card. This is what it is. Kind of really what it is. It's not the perfect like comparison, but it's kind of what it is. Yeah, you already pay for it. Just move along and just buff the other passive skill. That's what they should have done from that point. And I say, oh, we fucked up, so I guess we'll just buff other passive skill. That's what they should have done, but oh well. See, it's unnecessary work going back and forth. And the balance thing, I can guarantee you this casting band system where the user is picking their bed, this is gonna be pretty messed up. I honestly think it's going, like, I've seen some users say they're gonna create 1,000 extra accounts to bend the units just for PvP. And there's no way to stop that really, unless they make it, oh, you have to be like rank 50 or you have to be certain rank to bend the units. I think best way they can do this casting band system is they make the rank, so each rank is gonna have a different band list. Then I think it will make more sense. Hey, but if there's a problem with it, they can just probably get rid of it and roll back on it. This one is not a big issue if there's a problem with it. They can just easily remove it if they wanted to. So It's not that much big of a deal. It's just probably chaos for a couple weeks and say, oh, this people are abusing too much, then just get rid of the system and just think of something else. Not a big thing. I mean, it's not a big issue for me if it ends up being a messy. I think most likely Evolve 1 is going to be get banned. Like, I know I'll be picking Evolve 1. I know I'll probably get Evolve 1 to be banned. And T7 system, they say they reveal on the December 3rd. So that's a Friday of next month. So updates are usually happening on Tuesday. So I guess they'll show that on Friday of December. And I guess updates gonna happen in December 7th. So they have couple days. So they have weekends to get a feedback from the player base if it's bullshit. And then they have time to make announcement on the Monday. Then implement it or things within, you know, December 7th to Friday. But that's pretty much about talking about this one. I'm gonna end the stream here and just start a new one. Okay? Alright.